Alright, just a quick one today, but in this video, I'm going to be discussing a very sensitive and difficult topic, centred around how a bunch of sexless virgins can be coerced into doing despicable acts of violence and inflicting terror upon their own city, all in service of misguided yet extremist political ideologies that bring devastation to the communities they terrorise. And no, this isn't a video about Antifa. So here is both your trigger and spoiler warning in one tidy disclaimer, as from here on in I'll be ruining both your movie experience and safe space safety bubble. Still here? Good. Means you've got nothing better to do than watch a questionable video on the YouTubes about the dangers of involuntary celibacy, and learn how handing out pity shags to extremist loons still living in their mother's back bedrooms could potentially save millions of lives, especially if they plan on blowing up sea walls and flooding your gaff with sewage. So here's my analysis of why Catwoman was the real reason why so many people died when Riddler enacted his master plan. She didn't spread her legs. No, seriously. That's literally it. Bruh. Okay, look, that may sound overly reductive in its reasoning, and apparently slightly misogynistic according to my now fired liberal script editor, but let me break this shit down for you. So this ultra incel Riddler guy, aka Elliot Rodger on steroids, is going around the city pounding mayors and seedy corrupt officials, which is clearly an allegory for his pent up sexual frustration, given he just doesn't have the same opportunities to pound seedy corrupt girls in the same way. I mean, that sounds like he's just taking out privileged chads to me. God, what a hero! Anyway, the main factor in all of this is when he moans about being an orphan and never having a mummy or daddy. But we can all see straight through this crap and know that what he's really saying is that if he'd just had a little Riddlerette girlfriend, he'd be too busy tapping that ass every night to even bother trying to come up with ways to create lame rhyming schemes to taunt Commissioner Gordon, and scored a giant cosplaying bat in the ways of iambic pentameter. Ultimately, one of the only females in this movie is Selina Kyle, so most of the responsibility unfortunately falls on her lovely lady lumps. And to be fair, this Catwoman bird even admits she has a thing for strays, so if she had spent more time looking for this emerald quizzing gimp rather than some obviously dead hooker what no one gives a stuff about, she could have easily ended his reign of terror hours earlier, and shaved off 20 minutes of the runtime in the process. And in the words of an election official who still uses voting machines to adjudicate ballots, that's a win-win, son! Now, I know this movie goes out of its way to imply she's a leather, what with all the pussy hanging around her flat and what with her obsession with finding Annika and calling her baby all the time. But she's clearly also not impartial to a bit of sausage the way she snogs that bat bloke, so she could easily nut up and enjoy a night of passion with Eddie for the sake of stopping terrorism. What a selfish bin! I mean, there's just no excuse for it. Even when he's in jail at the end, she could have engaged in a de-radicalising programme by rinsing his junior Riddler once a day. But no! She just rides off into the night, leaving old Eddie to have his first sexual experience with some scarred up cellmate high on laughing gas. So I guess the moral of this story is, if you encounter a wild incel in the street, always drop trowel and suck his shooter, because you never know how many lives you could be saving with every suck job. And if you enjoyed this philosophical morality tale and expert analytical essay, then tweet out your love with hashtag drop trowel and suck off an incel. Now if you like it, you press the like it. Wanna subscribe it, you press subscribe it. It's cooking simple,